Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Quick opinions and fun times. The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
If he's in the next couple. Oilers? Injuries? It's 11:01. Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on The Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, Connor the intern with you here in the Sports 1440 studios. Thank you guys for joining us. However you're doing so, whether it is on the AM dial, which you can hear Blue Jays baseball on tonight at 6 o'clock. You could be listening online with iHeart or TuneIn, Radio Player Canada, maybe our website, or watching us on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, or Twitch. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. You can always text me at 1-833-401-1440 or send me an email, connor@sports1440.ca, and plenty to discuss on the show today. Of course, we'll continue our look around the NFL with Bonte Hill. That's going to be in a few minutes here. He, of course, with NBC Sports Bay Area. The Niners, very intriguing. I probably couldn't praise Coach Shanahan more last year for what he did with that team, with all the injuries they faced, namely that substation, continuing to take them down. I joke, but we'll see how they look this season. I mean, they might be one of the top 5 teams in the NFL when healthy. The only problem is that division is incredibly tough, and you might have the top 2 teams in the NFL. So it's going to be an interesting year down in San Fran. They'll wrap up their preseason tonight, have the week off, and then get ready to go in the regular season. And they're making that long trip to Australia, Melbourne specifically. So interesting way to start the season for them. That'll be September 10th, the Thursday. For us, 6:30. So kind of perfect timing for me. Rip home. Throw that one on. Preseason tonight wraps up in Vegas as they'll take on the Raiders. Don and Paulson here as well. Donnie P, what's going on today?
Not too much, Connor. Had a good show this morning as per usual. I mean, Tommy's just crushing it.
Yeah, knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, unfortunately for us and the listeners, Tommy spent about as much time on vacation as he has hosting his radio show. So Yeah, it's been fun with Tommy. We've had a blast, and yeah, we did a nice lineup of guests. We had Paul LaPolice on.
Very cool.
Lots of fun today.
I just found out as he was leaving that he's going to come to the Elks watch party on Labor Day. Doesn't have to work the game, so he's going to come down to On the Rocks for that one. I invite you all. That's probably the biggest selling point. It's like, yeah, there's good football, there's drink specials, cheer team, prizes, but Tom Gazzola, that is the real selling point if you want to come down for that one. Speaking of the NFC West, as we were kind of praising the Rams and Seahawks, the Seahawks locking up one of their key players, Leonard Williams, to a 3-year contract extension worth $90 million. 56 of that is guaranteed. That's what good teams do, right? You take care of your guys. You get them those extensions maybe before they demand them. Save a little bit of money in the process, and you keep it on moving. And that's what the Seattle Seahawks do. So that's going to be a good move for them. We'll get to the Niners in a second here. As I said, Bonta Hill is going to join us. We'll do 3 rounds with Josh Fenwick around 11:20 or so. And then we'll take some of your text to 1-833-401-1440 in the final segment and let you know what's coming up on the Lowdown and the Jason Greger Show. Just a little reminder for those of you maybe curious about the Fantasy Frenzy League. We got Playbook Vic sent me a little more money for a few more entries. So he's trying to get in as much as he can. Despite the fact that he's got a new gig, can't listen quite as often. He's still going to try to get in on that one. The draw will be next Friday. Second segment, we will draw 10 names to take part in our league. The draft will be the following Tuesday at 6 o'clock, and then we will get things going on the Wednesday with the NFL season getting going. If you want to get in, it's Connor at sports1440.ca, $20 per entry. And you can enter as many times as you want. You can only have one team selected. So if you put in 10 entries, as soon as your name gets called, all of a sudden the rest are invalid. But the winner will receive half the pot. The other half will go to the community. So if you want to get in on that, it's $20 an entry. Connor at sports1440.ca. As we are now going to head down to the Bay Area and talk a little bit about the San Francisco 49ers as we are joined by Bonta Hill of NBC Sports Bay Area. Bonta, how you doing today?
What's up, fellas? What's going on?
Hey, I appreciate you joining us on the show today on kind of short notice as well. So we'll make it quick. We won't keep you too long here, but the San Francisco 49ers, I know the concern is always that electric substation and the injuries, and it just is a story that's fun to roll with. I don't know how accurate it is, but when you look at this team right now, Bonta, how are the injuries? How's Mike Evans? How's Nick Bosa? All those guys. How are we feeling going into the final preseason game?
You know, I got to say, Connor and Donovan, that substation, this season at training camp, I noticed it for like the first time. It was like looming. It was like staring right at you because they cut the trees down that was in front of the substation for so long. So it just looks like this big mutant genetic warehouse. Or I'm like, man, that thing's massive. Now, do I think it has anything to do with the injuries? I don't. You think about Fred Warner last year breaking his ankle. That happened in Tampa Bay. When Nick Bosa tore his ACL a few seasons ago, that happened at MetLife Stadium. When Brock Purdy tore his elbow or the UCL in his right elbow, that happened in Philadelphia. So I don't buy the theory, but this is what I do buy, fellas, is that they are an older team. And soft tissue injuries are looming for Mike Evans, who you asked about. He's 33 years old, just pulled a groin. We'll see if he's ready to go for week 1. Nick Bosa trying to come back from an ACL injury. He's dealing with tendonitis in that ACL, and he's been in uniform, but we haven't seen him over the last couple of weeks, whether it's in the weight room, the side field, just haven't seen him. So we weren't sure down here in the Bay Area if it was a hold-in for Nick Bosa, if he wanted more money, knowing that he's playing basically in a contract year. But McCaffrey looks healthy. I know they load manage him for the most part. Trent Williams looks great. That's one guy you usually see take vet days off at training camp. He's been out there, full uniform, participating in 11-on-11. So, look, if they're healthy, they will be a factor in NFC. But it is definitely a concern when you consider the age of some of their stars.
Looking at that receiver room as a whole, and you mentioned Mike Evans there and soft tissue concerns, Deebo Samuel returns, Dejon Stribling, who they took in the second round. I know there was people kind of curious about that move. How are you liking those receivers, and then maybe more specifically the rookie?
Yeah, well, look, Connor, I think if they are healthy, this could be the deepest and most talented receiving core under Kyle Shanahan since he's been the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. I know a few years ago, Brandon Ayuk was an all-pro, and he was phenomenal. Debo Samuel, and the way they used him going over 1,000 scrimmage yards. Juwan Jennings, we all know about him, third and Juwan, right? But Stribling, who you mentioned, gives them a dynamic they just haven't really had since Shanahan has been here, and that's a go-getter, the guy who could go down the field and hit a go route. He has speed. And really, the only drop passes I've seen from him in all of camp was in the preseason games when Curtis Rourke threw it behind him in the first preseason game against the Tennessee Titans at Levi Stadium. And then, of course, last week in SoFi when he dropped the touchdown pass from Mac Jones. Those are the only drop passes I've seen all camp for Dejon Stribling. So I think he gives them a dynamic. And you think about the versatility. If Mike Evans is on the football field, a bona fide possession receiver who could work the sidelines and go get it and high point that football, especially in the red zone. We all know about George Kittle. You bring back Debo Samuel, and I got to say, fellas, Debo looks like he's in great shape. I mean, maybe he got humbled this offseason by not being sought after in free agency. He looks like he's in phenomenal shape. He's going to be used as a chess piece for Kyle Shanahan. And then don't forget about Demarcus Robinson. I think Demarcus Robinson is a very serviceable wide receiver in this league. And had he not been popped for the 3 games last year coming out of the camp, I thought he was on his way to having a breakout season with the 49ers. So I really like this core. And that's without Ricky Pearsall, who's going to be gone for the season with the PCL injury.
Bonte Hill of NBC Sports Bay Area joining us here on The Frenzy, taking a look at the San Francisco 49ers. And yeah, Ricky Pearsall, almost an afterthought at this point with all those other names and the injury, like hoping he can find his way to the field when he's there. He's great, but need to see him get out there. Another pass catcher for Brock Purdy would be George Kittle. He'll be 33 in October. The fact that he's going to be ready to go for week 1 to me is absolutely incredible, and just kind of shows, how much he loves the game, the work he would have had to put in to get back as fast as he did. From what you've seen from him, should we just be expecting the same old George Kittle?
Yeah, I think so if he's on the football field. I mean, you think about the difference. Not only he makes in a pass game, and that's another wide receiver, obviously, for Brock Purdy, but the difference in the run game. I mean, this running offense without George Kittle last season was anemic. And overall, I mean, obviously, they averaged less than 4 yards a carry throughout the season. No explosives because they didn't have the guys on the outside who could separate at the wide receiver position. They fixed that. They have guys who can separate outside. But George Kittle, I mean, he still looks like he's in his prime. I mean, when he's on the football field, you notice when he's on the football field, kind of looks like Incredible Hulk, like he just walked out the substation. He got some dosages of energy or whatnot. So if he plays week 1, we're not sure yet. We got to see him play in 11 out of 11s. Obviously, he won't play the preseason game today against the Las Vegas Raiders, but he's pushing to play week 1. Now, the mindset is, do you want him traveling back and forth to Australia? What is it, a 16 to 18-hour flight? You go out there week 1 against the Rams. My opinion is if the doctors clear him to play, let him play. I mean, so many people are worried about, we need to save him for December, save him for November. Look, George Kittle was completely healthy last training camp. And week 1, second quarter against Seattle, he pops his hamstring. So you just never know with injuries. You don't know when they're going to loom. But as far as George Kittle, when he's on that football field, he's going to be one of the best tight ends in all of football. So he looks great. The fact that he's even questionable for week 1 is just remarkable and just shows the seriousness and the intensity he took his rehab with this past offseason, man. He looks phenomenal.
To jump over to the defensive side of the ball here, obviously Nick Bosa only plays 3 games last season. The defense as a whole is kind of middle of the road type of defense. Obviously, we know Nick Bosa is a phenomenal player. Where do you expect this defense to kind of get to with him back in here? Should we expect a top 10 defense again out of the Niners, or what do you think's the realistic expectation defensively?
Yeah, Donovan, it's the $1 million question, man. I mean, if Nick Bosa's not right, this will be a middle of the pack defense because you need a pass rush to help out the back end. Without a pass rush, all of a sudden you expose those safeties and Jair Brown, Malik Mustafa, and Marquise Siegel. And I'm skeptical on Jair Brown, especially in pass coverage. We all saw the highlights of him down in that joint practice against the Chargers getting trucked by Mr. Hampton. That was not good. It's because he's been the one talking about the scheme change and how he feels free and he can just use his instincts. Well, he used his instincts there and got ran the hell over, and everybody in the world ran with that highlight. So there's a lot on Jair Brown. So not only Jair Brown, but Nick Bosa, who you mentioned right off the top, Donovan, 97 has to be that DPOY type of guy this season for the Niners to be a top 10 unit. Romello Height is a rookie from Texas Tech. He's dealing with injuries. I'm not sure he's going to be a pass rusher, every down pass rusher. Probably going to be a situational pass rusher, which is why I think they should call Joey Bosa. They should call Hassan Reddick. They should call some of these guys who are on the street, Kyle Van Noy, because pass rush is a question mark to me. And then opposite of Osa Odigizua coming over from the Cowboys, look, he's been wrecking shop all training camp. But who's going to play D tackle opposite of him? It's a lot of youngsters over there. Alfred Collins, Grayson Hall out of Oklahoma. Who's going to be that other D tackle who could really stuff the run in this wide 9 scheme? So, look, linebackers I'm good with. Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Tatum Bethune, they're going to be fine. But and corners, even corners, not to forget about them, Diameter Lenore, Ronaldo Green, and Jack Jones. I think that's a very serviceable unit, a respectable unit who's going to get theirs. But pass rush goes hand in hand with pass coverage. If they don't get a pass rush, this pass coverage could be very leaky in the middle of a pack defense. So a lot's on number 97 to return to form as that dominant pass rusher that we saw a couple years ago.
Yeah, and one other thing that I want to check in myself on is Kyle Shanahan. Obviously, there was the unfortunate accident that happened about a month ago now. How is Kyle Shanahan doing? And I mean, obviously, like he's back. He's in the mix again. But how is he doing? Because
he's back. Donovan, he's back. I mean, he was a little snarky the other day when he was getting questioned about Jed York and everything going on with that. And Shanahan's back. I mean, he's had the walkie-talkie for a couple of weeks now. Even when he said he was working himself back and we were watching him hit the practice field midway through practice, there was that first Saturday that they had the pads on, that first week. They had pads on for the first time. And he was standing next to the speaker blaring all the loud music, whether it was Pink Floyd, Aerosmith, Metallica, or any other mumble rap that you hear right now. He was standing right next to the speaker. So I'm like, okay, he's getting closer and closer and closer to getting back. Shanahan is fine. I had no doubt that he was going to be on that flight going to Australia week number 1 for the 49ers. It's just a matter of time, getting through the concussion systems. But Donovan, he's all the way back. There's no looking back. That accident is a thing of the past for the Niners.
That's good to hear because I think we all love Kyle Shanahan and think he is one of the best coaches in the game to be safe. But yeah, I mean, it was a scary little accident there, and I'm glad to hear he's doing okay. So one thing, and this is more of a fantasy football tailored question, because obviously we know CMC is the big dog. He is easily, when he's healthy, he is the number 1 running back in football from a fantasy football perspective. Obviously, the receptions are huge. The rushing game is amazing. But if, God forbid, CMC does go down, what are we looking at behind him? Is there a guy that's kind of distanced himself as that RB2? Or what's going on in that backfield?
Get to know Kalon Black out of Indiana. Again, you guys mentioned off the top the draft process, which everybody ridiculed when it came to the 49ers, but not understanding that after getting blitzed by Seattle, they needed to get faster, more physical, more athletic, and they did that in this draft. We talked about Stribling earlier. Well, Kalon Black is like 225, 230 pounds full of muscle. I mean, he falls forward every single snap. Think about Jordan Mason when he replaced Christian McCaffrey. Very serviceable running back, fell forward, had a nice little yards per carry, over 4 yards per carry. Kalon Black is the guy you want to look at. He's good in pass coverage too. Like he's picking up blitzes in the backfield, and that's what you got to do to stay on the football field for a Kyle Shanahan offense. Kalon Black out of Indiana. Make sure you handcuff him for CMC. Because look, personally, I never take 49ers. It's a little too close to me. Maybe Brock Purdy late in the middle rounds or whatnot. But if you grab Christian McCaffrey with your first round pick, make sure you handcuff him with Kalon Black out of Indiana.
Bonta Hill from NBC Sports Bay Area joining us here on The Frenzy. A couple more for you here. And you touched on the situations with Shanahan and the owner, Jed York, and Brandon Ayuk this offseason. I mean, there hasn't been any lulls. This seems kind of unique for the 49ers because I think back, with this organization, it's been pretty stable. We haven't had too many offseason distractions. And then this year, I mean, it's kind of been nonstop. Great for sports radio, I'm sure, but maybe not necessarily the best for the team.
Yeah, they got the one thing about pro athletes, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, hockey, they don't want to answer questions about things that has nothing to do with the game or practice. And that's the situation with Jed York, right? What happened over the other day in East Palestine, Ohio. I didn't know there was an East Palestine in Ohio. This is Palestine. What's Shanahan doing? Yeah, I mean, it's going to be what Jed York doing out there in Europe, man, out there deep, in the Far East. But, he was in Ohio, and that's an unfortunate situation for him and his family. And I don't anticipate him being around the football team over the next couple months here as he tries to get himself right. But the players, look, they've been to Super Bowls, they've been to NFC Championship games, they've had primetime games. Once the ball kicks off, they're playing football. It's all gas, no brakes, as Robert Salo used to say. So it will not be a distraction. However, if they get off to a slow start and they're 2-5, 1-4, 3-6, on the cusp of being eliminated from the playoffs, that type of noise then begins to start to triculate through the locker room. And all of a sudden the questions keep going. Hey, what about the owner? What about this? What about Shanahan? Is he right? So as long as they win football games, that noise will remain on the outside. But for the players right now, the Warners, the McCaffreys, they're such leaders and they've been through a lot that I don't think it will be a distraction once they kick off week 1 in Melbourne, Australia. But again, they start losing football games, those questions will start to circulate again inside that locker room.
Bonte, just before we let you go, we won't talk about the Cards, but the Rams and the Seahawks, that is one hell of a division. How do you think this one plays out with these top 3 teams? Because, I think if the Niners stay healthy last year, they're right there in it.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing for home field advantage in the last week of the season, right? They got shackled a little bit with the schedule, had to play that Saturday night. But Seattle beat them up. Seattle beat them up 2 of the last 3 weeks. The 13-3 game at Levi Stadium, that score, that game was a little more lopsided than what the score indicated. And then obviously what happened in Seattle, 41-6, they just weren't in it. I mean, the quick turnaround from Philadelphia, didn't have the speed, didn't have the horses. They did split, though, with Seattle in the regular season, and they split with the LA Rams. Remember that dramatic Thursday night football game at SoFi Stadium with Alfred Collins had to force fumble and the recovery on the goal line to help the Niners preserve that win. So, look, this division, it's a monster. And I say that it's not just the Niners being in the NFC West. They're in the Super Bowl division. And the Super Bowl division has a few teams in it. Seattle, the Rams, the Buffalo Bills. We'll see about the Ravens. We'll see about the Chiefs and the Broncos. I think the Broncos are in that division because of that defense. But the Niners are right there, if healthy, as you mentioned, Connor. So, look, do I think they're going to win the division this year? I'm leaning towards Seattle because of the way their schedule looks. Seattle has a lot of big games at home this year, at home. And then you mentioned them going on the road, 15-2 on the road over the last 2 years. So I think it's Seattle's division to lose. But the Niners are right there. And they got to figure out how to beat Mike McDonald. The Rams, look, the Niners can hang with the Rams. The Rams, to me, we'll see. They're a couple hits away from being a mediocre football team, in my opinion. Everybody's crowning them to be the Super Bowl champ, and I know the Super Bowl's in LA. Forget the Rams. I think the Seahawks, it's their division to lose, but if the Niners are healthy, they are right there to compete with the Seahawks and the Rams for a chance to go to the Super Bowl in LA.
Awesome stuff, Bonte. I really appreciate you joining us today. Enjoy the start of the season, our preseason finale tonight, and we'll talk to you later.
Absolutely, Connor Donovan. Take it easy.
There you go. Bonte Hill with NBC Sports Bay Area. What a fun town area to cover teams on must be. You got the Giants, you got the Warriors, you got the 49ers. I guess, you got the Sharks in there as well. Sacramento's kind of close.
Kind of dream location.
Raiders and Athletics left. I guess you got to factor in that. That's not ideal. The Bay's a cool area. Now, we appreciate Bonte joining us. I remember a long time ago, I think he was doing communications. We used to use him to book guests like 10 plus years ago.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
goes way back.
Full circle here.
He made the jump onto the radio, and now he's on TV. Guys, absolutely crushing it.
Guy's electric.
Yeah, that was a fun conversation. And for the 49ers, man, this season can really go one of two. Well, it can go a lot of ways, but they stay healthy, they're right there. Couple injuries, they drop off. And then, like he said, all of a sudden that offseason distraction starts creeping in, and there's more negativity around it. It's going to be fun to see. It's not easy for them, though. They kick off the season in Australia, which I don't like, but the NFL sees green, and they're going to continue to do these types of things. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to 3 rounds with Josh Fenwick. It is The Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Crispy, caramelized edges, a pillowy, airy center. Meet the new Papa John's Pan Pizza. Made with Parmesan and Romano cheeses, Papa John's special garlic sauce, and Italian seasoning, all baked directly into the bottom of the crust for a signature golden finish and crispy, savory crunch. Grab a medium pan pizza for just $16.99 today at your local Papa John's. Order now in the app or at papajohns.ca. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Sleep is for the off-season. What off-season? Sports 1440 is live, loud, and locked 24/7. Oilers, Elks, Riverhawks, Stingers, Oil Kings, we've got your fix. Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all sevens. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Beer League Slow Pitch. It's an Alberta summer tradition.
I got shortstop. I'll take pitcher. Yeah, I'm just here for the dugout snacks.
When you're playing on the field, you need serious fuel. And there's only one MVP.
Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky and hit a home run with the team. It's the perfect snack for your summer sports.
Wilhock Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas, tag team champions of Sports Know-It-Alls on Sports 1440, presented by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Welcome back. It is The Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhockbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc. Go check them out. Tell them we sent you. Grab a bag or two. Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, intern Connor with you here. Sports 1440 studio. 1-833-401-1440 is the text line. Email me at connor@sports1440.ca. We did get a text in from Dean saying I'll be buying my tickets for the fantasy draw tomorrow. Sounds like I might want to up my odds this year a little bit. Yeah, I mean, there's 2 people that have purchased at least 5 tickets. So that's great for like the payout and the donation to the Canadian Cancer Society. You might want to increase your odds a little bit, just saying. But if you do want that, Connor at sports1440.ca, $20 an entry, half to charity, half to the winner. The draw we'll be doing next Friday, and then the draft will be the following Tuesday at 6 o'clock, right before the start of the season. I kind of like it that way because you never know when injuries are going to pop up. Like, what if this past weekend you drafted Ashton Genty and Jamar Chase? Whew. A couple little scares there. At least now we know it happened. You can be a little, if you want to be cautious, you could avoid them. I think they'll both be okay, but just I like to have my draft as late as possible. As soon as we can get to the final preseason week, then I'm in. Anyways, This segment brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth W football coverage online, elksnation.ca. Go check it out. The most recent podcast or video you can watch with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger, and they'll have another one tomorrow. Right now, let's get to it. 3 rounds with Mr. Josh Fenwick.
Want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding. Round 1.
All right, number 1. What's a more incredible sports moment? Derek Jeter getting a standing ovation from Red Sox fans when he retired, or Kobe dropping 60 in his last game?
Oh, I might go Jeter getting an ovation from Red Sox fans, because if you're not a baseball person, Boston Red Sox fans despise the New York Yankees, and Derek Jeter was the captain of the New York Yankees. He was El Capitan. So they despised that man with every single fiber of their being. And the fact that he got a standing ovation from them still shocks me to this day. Because, Derek Jeter, I mean, how many times did Derek Jeter, beat the Red Sox, right? Like, how many times did those two teams go to war? So, as impressive as the Kobe number is, 60 in the final game, that's awesome. A standing ovation for a lifelong rival, I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah, I mean, you got a good point. Like, to me, I kind of wish they would have just kept on booing him. Like, this is real life. This isn't a Disney movie. Continue that bad beef going forward. I guess I'll go Kobe. 60 points in his final game in the NBA. Went out there, played 42 minutes in the victory. They needed him in that game to beat the Utah Jazz 101-96. They ran away with it in the fourth quarter. They beat them by 14 points in the fourth quarter alone. So they needed Kobe to go out there and do what he did. Now, he shot the ball 50 times. He was going out there.
He went 25 of 50, though, 50% from the field.
Yeah, 22 of 50 per my game log. That's pretty good off memory, though. Also had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, a steal. It's pretty incredible to go out there and put up that type of game, when it's your last one, being an elder statesman in the NBA. So both very cool moments. I find it a little corny that the Boston Red Sox faithful turned the last time around. They should have just kept going, made it. Did the Yankee fans ever give like Nomar or Manram a standing ovation?
The Yankees fans, Connor, they boo their own players. So,
yeah,
no.
and that's what it's all about. So both great stories, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm leaning Kobe on this one.
Round 2.
All right. What sports photo goes harder? And these are both from the same playoff run last year. Is it 1, Shohei Ohtani getting struck out and the helmet falling off by Trey Savage in the World Series, or Vladdy's bat flip against the New York Yankees after crushing the Blue Jays' first ever postseason grand slam?
Now, do you have these up on the?
I sure do.
Okay, good. That's I'm just making sure about that one. To me, it's not even close. I mean, it's Trey Savage striking out Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is the best player in baseball. He's gonna probably set the record for most MVPs. He does everything. To strike him out is one thing. To strike him out where he drops to a knee and his helmet falls off is a whole other thing. And then to have Trey Savage just a little swaggy walk away, no big deal. I do this all the time. To me, that might be one of the hardest photos of all time, especially in recent memory, because just that whole thing, it's a little out of picture. Like Shohei is definitely HD. You just got to use Savage walking away.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I can't disagree with you, Connor. I really can't. The Vladdy one, it's the photo's awesome. It is. But that Shohei Ohtani one, where he is just looking like an idiot, he's getting embarrassed. It just goes so much harder. It's really, really hard for me to disagree with you, because that was the most iconic. That was literally a photo for days and days and days. We kept literally showing it, whether you were a Jays fan or not. That photo is awesome. The Vladdy one, it's just a bat flip. The situation's cool, but it's just a bat flip. How many times do you get to watch Shohei Ohtani look like an idiot? You don't.
Not often.
Anytime I get to see Shohei Ohtani, or a Dodger for that matter, look like an idiot, I'm game.
Now, let's modify it quickly. if you threw in Jose Bautista's bat flip, the iconic one with the bat 7 feet in the air and like the whole crowd behind him going crazy, he's got that look on his face. Where does that slot in amongst the three?
That's number one.
That's number one for you?
That's number one for me. That one's too iconic, and there's literally a mural of it.
If I could buy like that photo for my basement, and I'm sure I could, I probably, maybe I will. Like that'd be a nice for the little man cave downstairs.
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty sweet one to add.
That would be unbelievable. Or even just like, I'm actually kind of disappointed now that I thought about this and never had this as a kid. That would have been the ultimate bedroom wall poster.
Yeah.
This is a thing I'm trying to get my roommate on, is us just like getting framed photos of just like all these sports moments and just putting them up all around our apartment, because as people love to say, guys don't know how to decorate. So I would think we should just be rocking with this.
Embrace it, man.
Yeah.
It's a conversation starter anytime the fellas come over.
That's what I'm saying. Remember this.
Final round.
All right. Third and final. If you could only watch highlights from one position for the rest of your life, would you rather watch wide receiver highlights or running back highlights?
This one, I think it's pretty easy for me. It's wide receiver. I just find like how many one-handed catches where you go, oh my God, how the hell did he catch that? There are so many of them. You could last for ever, really, on those, whether those are one-handed catches, toe taps on the sideline. There's so many great catches from wide receivers. While running backs, I feel like doesn't do them justice, but it's a little more simple. The highlights aren't gonna have that, like the Saquon hurdles, unbelievable. But I just don't feel like the volume is going to be as many as wide receiver, so I will go wide receiver.
Give me a running back. I mean, hello, beast mode in against the Saints.
Yeah,
like that's one of the most exciting
course.
plays of all time. You go watch Barry Sanders alone, where he gets a toss. He's 5 yards in the backfield, running right. Oh, nobody there. Cut it back left. Nothing there. Oh, let me take it up the middle. Nothing there. Okay, I'll go back right again. Gain of 12 yards. It's the most exciting big 12-yard play you can watch. LaDainian Tomlinson would be another one, because Declan and I were just talking about things you go watch over and over again. The 2006 LaDainian Tomlinson touchdown record season. The little swing pass where he jukes Ty Law, takes him to his ankles. Incredible. Chris Johnson, when he was doing his thing, was unbelievable. I got Le'Veon Bell, Adrian Peterson, going back to the older guys, Walter Payton, Gale Sayers. There's just a lot of ones out there. Receiver highlights are fun too, no doubt about it. They'll make those with their one-handed catch, their splash plays, but you get some really big ones. And it's not just fancy. You get the guys running players over, things like that. Omarion Hampton, it was just talked about at training camp against the Niners. Heck of a play. So I love it all. I like to watch the quarterbacks really dice guys up too, but running backs is always a good time to sit back and watch their film. Outside of those two positions, who's the athlete you guys go and watch highlights of the most? There's got to be one.
Just an athlete?
Just an athlete or just in
any
football?
sport?
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose. Prime D Rose.
Prime D Rose. Like 20. Listen, his highlight package for a guy that was really only doing it for like 4 years is absolutely crazy. Like just sheer athleticism from a guy that's like 6 feet tall it's absolutely ridiculous. And then the calls that are on those plays as well. I can't remember the name of the Bulls play-by-play guy, but Matt, he just loses his mind every time. It's just such unique calls.
Is it Chuck Swirsky?
Yes,
because he used to be with the Raptors, I believe.
For me, it might be Nathan McKinnon.
Okay,
just because we watch Connor McDavid. Well, I watch Connor McDavid every game, right? It is you're watching a brilliant skater. He's got all the tools under the sun. And the edge work's phenomenal, but it's not as aggressive as Nathan McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon is a similar player, but super different because of their styles of skating. Connor McDavid is fluid and effortless. Nathan McKinnon, it looks like it should take him all his energy to just get up the ice because of how like violent he is when he takes his skating strides and how violent he is with all his motions. It's ridiculous to me how that guy turned into that player. Because everything looks violent and choppy and like it shouldn't work, but it does work. He would be up there for me. Younger me would be Vladimir Tarasenko because I always loved shooters.
Okay.
There's a lot of guys that I've watched. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've watched the Jose Bautista home run. It's probably in the hundreds. But yeah, there's a lot of guys who I've watched a lot of tape from.
It is like those guys who are clearly the best, and maybe we get a little bit, I don't want to say like we've got used to it, but we kind of have. Like the Connor McDavid goal against the Rangers every once in a while. Go back and watch that. The goal in the playoffs against the Dallas Stars was unbelievable. But even like a LeBron James, just the things he does. Like sometimes you're like, when he throws down or like posterize someone, it's pretty awesome to watch.
That guy might be good at his sport.
He might, yeah, I'd say he might have a future, but I don't know how much longer he's going to go. Anyways, let us know. 1-833-401-1440. Who are the guys you're watching when it comes to highlights? When we come back, we'll tell you what's coming up on The Lowdown and the Jason Gregor Show. It's The Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
At GS Construction, we won't quit until we find a way to get the job done. And the right person makes all the difference. We're looking for our next superintendent, an experienced leader ready to take on the role. Because while GS Construction is building the water, sewage, and drainage systems Edmonton communities rely on, the superintendent is building up the team. If you know how to keep a job site safe, productive, and moving, we want to hear from you. Visit gsconstruction.ca/careers today.
Early mornings just got louder. For the hottest takes and the sports stories that actually matter to Edmonton, you need Tom Gazzola. Weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440 at 833-401-1440.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Founded by a former pro motorsports competitor, Evolve Wheels and Tires brings decades of experience in custom wheels, lowering kits, lift kits, and accessories. Visit Evolve Wheels and Tires in West Edmonton, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride, evolve your experience.
DraftKings Casino is live, Alberta. Now you can play all your favorite casino games all in one app, from the Badlands to the Rockies. Check out the DK Slots collection with thousands of games to choose from. Play the classics like Cash Eruption, or take fan favorites for a spin like the widely popular Cash Shingo series. If table games and more are your thing, DraftKings has a huge variety. Plus, they've got more than 100 exclusive games like Rocket. And when it comes to jackpots, DraftKings Casino has tons available on your and progressive jackpots. When you're ready to join the fun, download the DraftKings Casino app now in Alberta. The crown is yours. Please play responsibly. 18 and over. Physically present in Alberta. Eligibility restrictions apply. See casino.draftkings.com for details.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may
The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wilhuck Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
And 44, welcome back to the Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Check them out, willhockbeefjerky.com. Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, Connor Spivak with you here. Get some text rolling in here. Guys, you would be watching. Husk says Prime D Rose, unmatched. Too bad he would always land on a leg or knee with flying through the air. Did not end well for him. Husk, I know you're a big basketball guy. I liked Brandon Roy with the Patriots. Or not Patriots, Blazers. Before his injuries knocked him out way too fast. Triple C in a truck. LeBron generation needs to go watch some Jordan highlights. Yeah, I totally agree. Why not? Mid-young Connor bringing up Tavon Austin. Go watch Tavon Austin's West Virginia tape. I think people would really like that. We've got Pavel Datsuk from Nikki Northside and Mark.
Yep.
The Magic Man.
The Magic Man. There was a reason he was called that. That was him. He was as young me. He was my number one.
People loved him.
Yeah.
Jason and Leduc says Barry Sanders was the most must-watch athlete of all time. Absolutely electric. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be a bad play that he would turn into a pretty good play. Like, and sometimes he just house it. Like, he was just unbelievable. King of Fort Nasty says, good morning, gents. My first NFL fantasy auction draft coming up on Saturday. Any advice for the rookie? Cheers. KOFN. Don't spend all your money at once. You know what? I feel like that's kind of a fun one because if you see someone's like really like all over Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan, you just kind of bid them up, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, that's going to be their only player. I've never done a fantasy auction draft before.
I did my first in Carius's baseball league.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a rookie as well. It was eye-opening how it kind of works. And you know what? This is weird to say, but I would suggest, like, it's one thing to be on Jahmyr Gibbs, but I would just honestly sit back and wait the first couple out to see how it works and then feel it out. Like, bid on Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, don't just let Jahmyr Gibbs go by. But I'm saying, like, I would want to wait out, like, some of these other guys who are going to be high up there, like, if James Cook up there, I might just sit back and wait because I want to see how it works. That's how I approached it. I wanted to see how it worked. I wasn't worried about getting a guy like Juan Soto and bidding up because those are the guys you overpay on the most. You can get yourselves in huge traps and then totally kill your entire team if you overbid. And people know you're a rookie, right? So they might use your experience against you, knowing that, oh, I want Jahmyr Gibbs bad. It can work against you, but then again, it can also work against you in some of the lesser players. It did against me, I'll be honest. I overbid way too high on a couple of guys. My team's in last. It's not all my fault, though. There was a lot of injuries for my baseball team, and that killed me.
It's fantasy. It's never your fault.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Yeah, exactly.
99% luck.
It's 99% on the players. It's their fault. No,
I said luck. I didn't blame the players. Come on.
Those auctions are fun, though. Those are really fun.
I'd say, also, like, hey, I've preached this for a long time. Like, if you don't get Josh Allen, don't worry. Like, there's going to be other guys. Worry about running backs because the drop off is quick.
Yes.
Even if you're not going to overpay for Bijan or Gibbs or McCaffrey. Like if you get James Cook, who's an absolute steal. Chase Brown later on, I think would be a good one. Those are Donovan's backs, and I think he knocked it out of the park with that one. Omarion Hampton down the road. Like Derrick Henry can probably still give you some good games here. So yeah, it's fun. Be aware of what everyone else is doing as well, right? Like all of a sudden 4 quarterbacks are off the board. You're like, okay. Once let's just say it's Lamar, Josh Allen, Burrow, Jaden Daniels. Let's just say those, like, you're going to have that next tier. So let them grab the next couple, and then you can settle on, I think, and still get a pretty good player.
Yeah. And to me, the one position where there's the most depth is wide receiver. So if you see someone going nuts on Jamar Chase, great for them, but I would rather prioritize the high money running back.
Kyle says I took CMC and Genty at first round, 6th overall, and then second round at 7.
Oh, that's risky.
I don't mind it. I mean,
They could go super well, and you could win your league.
you could
Or
be
it
laughing by week 10.
or they could, well, CMC could be hurt and miss the regular season basically after like 2 weeks, and Genty could just fall flat on his face. Like, who knows?
It could happen with anyone. Quickly, Mark says, "Hey guys, do you think the Oilers should PTO Ryan Reeves? I think we could use the toughness.
No.
Played in 50 games last year, had 3 goals. No, I don't see where he fits in on this team. Like, they could do it, sure, but I don't think he makes the team. So is it really kind of just an effort in futility? Maybe.
Ryan Reeves at this point, Connor, are you sure he's an NHL player?
No, I'm not.
I'm not either.
Play-
That speaks all. I think that's all we need to say.
Played 50 games for the Sharks last year. They're a different team. I mean, I still think the toughness is there, no doubt about it. But can you get the toughness from guys who can contribute a little bit more to your team? I hope so.
If you want a tough player or someone who's got a little rattiness to them, just go out and sign Michael Bunting. I know people want the Oilers to sign Evander Kane. I'm super out on that. But like there are guys who are better players than Ryan Reeves who provide a little bit of toughness or a little bit of rattiness out still available in free agency. I mean, the guy for me would be Bunting if you want a little rat element. If you want a little toughness, I don't know, like there's a couple of guys. I wouldn't be running to sign any of them though, because frankly, the only guys I have any interest in myself who are left over, Bunting, Tolvanen, I guess Marcus Johansson, even though he's signed in Europe, and Vladdy Tarasenko.
There you go. Triple C and Trucks is 81 on Gibbs. Is the going rate? ? Well, I just went to fantasypros.com. They have $62 on Gibbs, 54 for Bijan. So I think I'd be more than content with spending a little less and getting Bijan. But James Cook is 40. If you want to take a flyer, Devon Achan 37. That one scares me just because of the team, but Chase Brown 32. Kenneth Walker 32. Kyron Williams 30. Omarion Hampton 29. Javonte Williams 28. So there's guys out there that you could probably hold off on.
King of Fort Nasty says he only gets $100.
Okay.
So yeah, I would not want to blow my
don't do 62 on Gibbs then.
Entire budget on Jahmyr Gibbs. I would be looking in the Chase Brown, James Cook range.
So let's just say hypothetically, you take 62 on Gibbs. That leaves you $38.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford for 4. Risky.
Yeah, well, it depends on it's risky and it depends on your scoring format.
I'm just doing calculator. We could do Caleb Williams at 6. He and Herbert are 6. So all of a sudden you're up to 68, let's just say.
Yep.
You need another running back. No, you're not looking too great down here. Jalen Warren.
You need to spend on the running backs, but yeah, going Jahmyr Gibbs and blowing all your budget, that's
puts you at 81. Yeah. Then you're looking at like Luther Burden and Marvin Harrison. And you don't even have a tight end or a defense.
Exactly, right? So
this must be a different amount. This must be like a $200 league or something with their standards. Because that's what, Triple C Truck says that's it. King of Fornasty says, my quarterback is Bo Nix all the way. Go Broncos. Oh, you're a Broncos fan? Man, there's a lot of you guys out there.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I like Bo. I like Bo all but 2 games.
I'm not gonna say what my nickname for him is, but people could probably guess.
Bo the Pro?
No, it's definitely not Bo the Pro.
Bo knows.
However, Bo Nix is a sneaky good fantasy quarterback.
And with Waddle too, right?
He's
guy can run.
I think he's finished 7th in points per game the last 2 years as a quarterback, something
Yeah.
like that. So I don't know. If you're not going to draft an elite guy, Bo's probably a nice little option.
I think you also just kind of factor in the Broncos probably win a lot of football games.
Yeah.
They probably don't run up the score. They might run the football too. So factor that in a little bit. It's not the biggest thing, but it's a little thing. Dave from Stoney says, are you guys going to do a regular season hockey pool that listeners can go on? Dave, 100%. That's what we do on the Frenzy. And we keep it like just box pool, and we kind of just go like goal, assist, are the points. Goalies get a win, and I think at second point for a shutout. It's simple, but it's easy, and that's kind of what we want to do here. So we'll have more details on that probably in the next few weeks here, I suppose. It's pool season here, and then I think we'll get the Survivor pool going as well. I really want to make it past like week 3 this year. That's my goal. I don't even know. Week 1, I might just take my Chargers. If they break my heart, they'll just do it on multiple levels. But
I might take your Chargers too, buddy. I got your Chargers defense in fantasy football, and I'm locked in. I think your Chargers are going to have a nice 2-0 start.
Yeah, I hope so.
And I'm immediately going to drop them.
Then it gets a little iffy because that schedule gets really tough. Coming up next here on
The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas.
That was the wrong button.
That was awesome because I said coming up next, and then it just maybe people thought my voice did that. We got the lowdown with Low Tide. They'll be joined by Jansen Dench of The Athletic, covers the Edmonton Oilers starting this year, and Bagged Milk. And then on the Jason Gregor show, I'll be sitting in once again. We've got Zach Lang from Daily Faceoff Edmonton coming by at 2:20, followed by David Owens for Thirsty Thursday. TR, Colin Livingston, Jay Retcher. Talk some Bucks and maybe a little Tampa Bay Lightning as well with Jay. Awesome guy. And Mark Spector trying to get a few more guests in there as well. We'll have Cam Tate's 2-minute warning stats of the day. Roundtable, 5 questions. It'll be a fun one. Then we'll hand things over to Blue Jays baseball on the AM feed, followed by Fox Sports Radio. If you're streaming, that music means we are out of here. Let's get to a Sports 1440 update with Connor Spivak, brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. Kick off the second half of the season with a 5-game ticket pack and get a $25 voucher. Get your half-season pass today at goelks.com/tickets. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year.
1440 update.
Blue Jays in action tonight as they look to get a series win against the Royals. First pitch goes at 5:07. We'll have that one for you on the AM feed following the conclusion of the Jason Gregor show at 6 p.m. Other action in the MLB today, the Orioles and Cardinals go in about 20 minutes. Astros, Yankees, Brewers, Mets, Dodgers, Braves, and in the nightcap, the Giants host the D-backs. The Seattle Seahawks are extending defensive tackle Leonard Williams to a 3-year, $90 million extension. That includes $56 million in guaranteed money. After hitting a grand slam to help the Cincinnati Reds come back by 7 against the Giants yesterday, Eugenio Suarez has been DFA'd. Suarez is owed approximately $3 million for the rest of the season. Coming up, it's Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Connor Spivak, and that was your Sports 1440 update.